Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Sex workers and divorce attorneys have below the surface insights into relationships. I had to read that one off the paper and everything. Yeah, sex workers and divorce attorneys. You know, this was an insight my mentor into the deeper aspects of Tantra and sacred sexuality, Master Yawen Yamache Morris, had pointed out in one of his books. And I thought about that. I was like, because, you know, I always talk about that sex worker secret. Like, I had a lot of game, but, you know, some sex workers broke it down more. And in fact, I learned a lot from sex workers when I was younger. And, you know, women of that caliber. And indeed, male sex workers, they can tell you a lot. And one of the things with that is they have insight because they see the real deal about people's sexuality. In fact, I have a friend who, I don't know, she might watch this. She was getting paid just to text guys, just to text back and forth with them. And you got some women, you got some guys paying them just to look at their feet. It's like, wow, they seeing it. They see the fetishes. And then they, you know, when they hooking up with a man, they could be it could be a actual prostitute, it could be a stripper. Like I had a friend who was a stripper, and you know, they had those like private dances and stuff, but she said she'd be in there talking to the guys. And in fact, Malcolm X has said that. Malcolm X has said that in his book, because remember, he was a pimp. So he was talking about how, you know, these men would be telling the prostitutes and stuff, the stuff that their wives should have known. And, you know, and it happens the same way, you know, for gigolos and male exotic dancers and everything. They will see a side of women that the average guy won't see. You know, they will find out their fetishes, what they really want, and everything. And they seeing below what's on the surface. You see, because one of the things out here is this. A lot of relationships are very surface. They very surface. And even a lot of advice given is very surface. Like when, you know, some guys say looks, money, and status. Okay, that's bait, but that's still surface. How many guys have money out here, or even looks, even status? But they come back home one day and some guy is tearing their women up, and they looking back and be like, my bad. Or in fact, how many of these guys with money have who married some woman? They thought the woman was into them, but then they got divorced, and the woman getting half their money. They got played because they were just dealing with them on the surface. And in fact, if you look at a lot of advice, it's surface, but it's not getting into the deep aspects of just basic sexuality. Indeed, when I talk about body game, that's the base. That's the base of sexual attraction. A lot of guys don't understand that. They thinking of the surface and everything. No. If you're talking sexual attraction, man and woman have to like what each other look like naked. If you're talking about a sexual relationship. And then there's a lot of dynamics to even get to that point. See, the sex worker sees that. They see all of that. They see the real deal. Like I said, and that secrets from the sex workers, I always share them. I always say it. I just don't say it directly. Guys still don't get it. And even then, if I said it directly, a lot of guys still wouldn't get it. And the reason I do that is too many guys looking for a shortcut. Too many guys looking for a shortcut. Heck, I said it several times just already in this video. So here's the thing though. They can go below the surface. They see something. Like I would say this, if you really want to get an insight, you gotta somehow, one way or the other, become friends with a sex worker. That friend's not a client. Let me be clear on that. If you're a client of a sex worker, they will tell you whatever you want to hear, even if you're paying money. Because what they're going to do is read you, and they're going to tell you stuff to make you feel good because they're trying to get your money. But then if you just a friend, you ain't trying to get anything out of them, and they genuinely like you as a person, because remember, most female sex workers have a disdain for men. So, but there's always a man they're going to be cool with. They're going to be friends with. They're going to be honest with. Best way you have for that is don't judge them. If they tell you this how much they getting paid or something, just be like I knew this woman I dealt with, guys were paying, she wasn't like a formal worker, but guys were paying her for the 90. I got it for free, so she was telling me everything. So when you understand that, you see that, you get below the surface. And see, that's just one half of it. Remember, I said something about, a rich guy getting divorced, his woman taking half his shit, or at least enough to live on. Divorce attorneys, they see below the surface. Divorce attorneys, because they got to. They in court. They going to get the real deal. And I remember this. Hadn't really been around a lot of attorneys, just for what I did in the past, but not really family attorneys. Ironically, one of my exes is a divorce attorney. I actually tried to get her to do a collab with me to stuff, but she lost interest in doing so. Some pains still linger. Anyway, but I remember another one of my mentors, may rest in peace, he was telling me about his cousin who was a divorce attorney. And he was giving me a lot of insight, because he said, this divorce attorney, male divorce attorney, he said women will put him on retainer 3 years before they actually get the divorce. 3 years. And I learned that, and that was a powerful lesson that, I know a lot, but I'm always learning something. That was a powerful lesson. 3 years? He said on average 3 years before they actually get a divorce. When women generally get a divorce, one, they initiate most divorces. Two, it's never just all of a sudden. They're already thinking about it. It's rare. It's from the information I got, it's rare that they're gonna just decide up and do it. It might be a surprise to the man, but the woman is already thinking about it. And many women, they already got all the plans, everything already in place. I was talking with one of my buddies. There's some issues, and she already know if she got to roll out, where she gonna stay. She already got a couple friends to stay with. I'm like, damn. They already know. They already know. And divorce attorneys see that. Now, you might not know a divorce attorney, but here's something you can do. Take at least a day off or something during the week, and go down to family court and just sit there, plan where you're going to eat your lunch and everything. And if you got time, take a few days, maybe take a month and take like random days off. With people's work schedules, people are off during the week. Take those days, go down to family court and just sit there and just pay attention. Just sit in the back. Most courtrooms allow for random visitors. They don't question who's in there. And some people do that. Some people, they'll just go down and chill out. Just sit in family court and get out of your emotions about many of the men getting screwed, and see what they saying. I remember when I was working at the DC courthouse, I just sat in on I was doing some other stuff. This was just a break. This was just a break between some stuff I was working on with some attorneys. And I was sitting in the back just chilling. And this woman, I'd never forget this real sweet woman. I remember her face to this day. It looked real sweet and innocent, all of that. And got on the stand, was talking about how she was cheating on her man because he was doing this and that. I was like, if you saw her, she looked like a goody woman. And I remember her in particular, but there were some other ones too. You be hearing the different things happening. And see, a divorce attorney, they represent them, so they really seeing what happens. Because if that much gets to court, that's one thing. Anybody's worked in the court system now, whatever gets said on the stand, there's always more. Even in criminal case, there's always more. So if you just hear that much, you be like, oh, dang. And they can tell you, they get past all the illusion. Because let me get back to that. You understand sex workers see stuff, divorce attorneys, but a lot of stuff is just surface. They say, hey, as long as you have enough money, like you get some guys that get in there, yo, you just need money. No, ain't that simple, dog. It ain't that simple. Or if you just look good. You had guys who would probably be considered good looking getting divorced. You got players who getting divorced. I mean, you know, it's still, you never know. You never know. Shoot. There's a lot of stuff. They see past the surface. And like I said, if you know a divorce attorney, just have a conversation with them. If you think you're cool enough, have a conversation with any divorce attorney. Or if you can get on the friendly side with a sex worker where she or he is going to be honest with you. Like for the fellas, if you know a male exotic dancer, get them comfortable. And they'll start telling you some stuff, or a gigolo. They'll tell you some stuff. You know? You will see a different side. It goes below the surface, all right? And I'm just sharing that because it is still a major issue that a lot of people only dealing with the surfaces of relationships, all right? You got to deal with a bit more. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and, well, not today. I always say the same thing knowing I'm going to be doing a car video. But I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.